You know, guys, life feels a little empty lately, like I've been wandering through the real world without a ping button. Ever since Arc Raiders Playtest 2 ended on May 4th, I've been going through withdrawal. And the worst part? I had it all. My wife was on a girls' trip in AC, so for one glorious weekend, I became a complete degenerate. Just me, Arc Raiders, and a mountain of empty Coors Light cans. It was beautiful. I would literally play until I was falling asleep. True story.
We all ready? Lethal weapon, what are you doing? I want to get in some action.
I do too, but I think I'm gonna call it. I gotta get to bed.
What time is it?
3:15.
But now, it's gone. And it feels like the entire gaming community is just kind of going through a collective coma. Stumbling through other titles while silently mourning the loss of Arc Raiders. If you've watched my other videos, you know I am a sucker for immersion. I want to feel like I'm actually in the world, not just controlling a character in it.
Love immersion.
For the longest time, I genuinely believed that only first-person games could deliver that kind of experience. I'm talking about titles like Hell Let Loose, where you're trudging through the mud, hearing bullets whiz past your ears, and constantly glancing over your shoulder like you're really there. Or Kingdom Come Deliverance, a game that ditches the power fantasy for realism, making you feel every ounce of weight behind your sword swings, and every mistake in combat. But Arc Raiders changed that. Somehow, a third-person extraction shooter built this intense, grounded experience, made me forget I was sitting in a computer chair wearing a sweat-stained pink robe. I really gotta watch that thing. So in this video, that's what I want to talk about. What makes Arc Raiders so immersive, and why I think it's a contender for Game of the Year, even though it doesn't exist yet. Let's talk about the hub, or rather, the lack of one. You got your ammo and gun tucked away in the right corner, you got your little compass at the top, but other than that, there are no like damage numbers or hit markers. But you know what? It works. You hit someone,
I hit you, I'm sorry.
you hear their shield pop. And when you knock someone down, boom, out comes a red flare. No floating name, no on-screen fireworks. Honestly, that flare is such a creative way to indicate that you've knocked a player. It sends a flare up in the sky and it kind of notifies everybody in the surrounding area that shit's popping off. Compare this to something like Marathon that just like overloads your brain and your eyes with like a bunch of text, a bunch of flashy shit going on. Shit. It doesn't feel like the UI is trying to create a rave party for your eyes. Arc Raiders respects your eyes.
Got one.
I'm getting burned by a bot, bro.
The ping system in this game deserves an award on its own. Not only can you mark loot and enemies in the game, but your character actually says what the item you're pinging is out loud. Some of my favorite things to make my character say out loud is bloated tuna can,
Tuna every single day for at least a decade.
or very comfortable pillow,
Lumpy pillows kiss my ass. Put that in your book.
or my absolute favorite, I've got a cat bed. During the playtest, I became weirdly obsessed with pinging my cat bed. To the point that I actually kept a cat bed in my little safety slot, so if I died, I would still have my cat bed. You know, I'd use that cat bed to like try to diffuse tense situations, or just get like a cheap laugh out of my friends. I even went as far as changing my Embark name from Lethal Weapon, which, you know, I had misspelled, to cat bed. So like that's my name now. So if you run into a cat bed, it might be easy at. But the deeper reason why this system really works is if you decide to queue up with some like random people, you don't feel like queuing up solo, you want to have some people on your side, but none of your friends are online, so you're just queuing up with randos, you're actually able to effectively communicate with them even if they don't have a mic. You ping something on the map, your character clearly says out loud, hey, let's go to, you know, like the spaceport. Or some other, I forget the locations. I was pretty drunk when I was playing. And then there's proximity chat. This might be my favorite feature in all of gaming. Being able to communicate with people who aren't in your squad, or even your enemies, just makes the game so much more fun. Very few games take advantage of this, but the ones who do always benefit. There's just something magical about hearing another squad talk while you sneak into a building, preparing to Control-Alt-Delete them. Or making a truce with someone who's hiding behind a rock. It creates these organic, wild, unpredictable events that aren't scripted. More games need to implement this, period. Of course, Immersion doesn't just boil down to UI and sound. It also comes down to graphics. And Arc Raiders? Mwah! Chef's kiss. Embark Studios has absolutely cooked this game. These guys absolutely know how to utilize Unreal Engine to its full potential. The abandoned buildings, the 80s aesthetic, the NASA punk thing that Starfield was going for, these guys knocked it out of the park. It's a perfect blend of bleak and beautiful. It's a wasteland that I actually want to explore, not just sprint to the next objective. Going into like dark abandoned buildings and just turning on your flashlight, it's a visual delight.
This game is so fucking beautiful if you just jog. And you take in the scenery.
Will you not take in the fucking scenery, Eddie? And goddamn.
So yeah, if you're feeling the void right now, you're not alone. You can just take one step into the Arc Raiders subreddit and see that people are going through serious withdrawal, losing their will to live without this game. And in each one of those posts, you'll find me commenting with a link to my PvP montage, which you should totally check out after this video. And this video is almost done. So like play this video in its entirety, but then check out my PvP montage. Actually, maybe don't, because the footage is a little choppy in places and it's not a very well edited video. I just slapped it together hoping to get a lot of views, and I got like 300 views. So that's fine.
Nice.
That's fine. And if there was like one thing I could suggest Embark add to this game is possibly squads of 4. I know this is a divisive topic and people are like, oh, the game's optimized for 3 people, but on game night every Wednesday me and my boys play, and there's 4 of us. So having squads of 3 kind of divides us, which I really don't want this tradition to end where we get together every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. We stream here on this channel. You should totally check that out, or don't check it out. You know, it's not the greatest content, but it's content. It's something for your eyes to watch.
Nice.
But I would hate to see that, have to be broken up and ended because of this game. Wow, I just plugged 2 of my videos in this video. I don't give a fudge. And I know they have a system where, like, if you queue up solo, it kind of pairs you up in the game with other solo players. There's a potential you'll run into a duo or a trio. They could do the same thing with the squad of 4. They could prioritize them to be matchmake with, like, trios and squads of 4. Those guys can play in a lobby together. Like, I don't know. Do it. Arc Raiders isn't out yet, but it will be someday, soon. So we just need to hang on, guys, just for a little bit longer. In the meantime, drop a comment down below. Let me know what immersive game I should be playing to fill this void in my life. And if you see a guy named Catbed, you already know what I have saved in my inventory. And that's all I got for you guys today, so yeah, can't wait for this game to be out. Not sure how to wrap this up. Like and subscribe? Do it. Do it now. Click it. Click the fucking button. Do it!